Well, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Three Crones and the Woo Woo. My name is Gayle Nicholson. I am your Dragon Slayer Crone and with Creative Command Coaching and Consulting. I have no idea what the hell is going on around me, but to my side, we have Miss Krista Ducharme with Dimensional Healing with Krista on Facebook. She is our traveling crystal crone. And of course, supporting us from below, we have Miss Damaris Samolinski with Ask the Genie with Damaris Samolinski, and she is our stargazer crone. So welcome. Come on in, everybody. Have a seat. Get your beverage of choice. You know, if you're in Krista's time zone, it might be something a little bit more exotic than this sparkling flavored water I have in this beautiful, cup.
Today I have water. The bartender hasn't come home yet. What can I say?
If you're back on the West Coast, maybe it's tea or coffee for you right now because it's only about 9 a.m., Yeah. But welcome in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. We are the Three Crones, and we're so happy to see you. Hello, everybody that's coming in, our lovely, lovely people. Good morning, Tracy. Good afternoon and good night. Hey, Sue, how's it going? Hey, and Hair Bear, it's so good to see you. Hi, Harry. Awesome. So how is everything going, ladies? Let me start with you, Damaris. How has this week been? Are you in the deep freeze like I am?
It is, yeah. It's been very cold. Like this last week was very, very cold, and I think today it's a little warmer, and the snow is like melting off the roof, so you hear like. And you get startled, and then you look out and it's like the snow coming down. But glad to see that it's a little warmer here because it was really, really cold. Yeah.
That's one of the things that at least 6 times my landlords told me when I moved in here, because the back door comes out into this little covered porch, and then you step out onto the patio and there's nothing over the top of you. And they're like, whatever you do, make sure you look up. Because at any moment, there could be a spike of an icicle coming down, and it's just going to, it'll just cleave you. So,
yeah.
It's scary sometimes, doesn't it?
It does. That happened the other day. I was in the den, and I heard this, loud noise, and I'm like, what the heck was that? I look out, because it came from the outside, and it was just snow that fell from the roof onto the patio.
It happens.
Yeah.
How about you, Krista? Are you in a thaw mode yet, or what?
Yes, actually. So it was very wintry for us over the weekend, and Kevin and I went on what we call a secret weekend. There's a long story to all of it, but it's kind of cool because we ended up being in a tree house in the woods, and with about 8-10 inches of snow. And at this tree house, there was an emu that lived there and 3 donkeys. Those of you who saw the picture, some of you probably saw that follow me on my actual personal page, saw me with one of the donkeys. Kevin saying that he was coming out as his true self, as a jackass.
I was waiting for a joke there.
Yeah, you gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Yep.
So in any case, we were in the treehouse in the snow, and it was really neat, except for our last night. So we were there for 2 nights. The first night is a little bit warmer, but then the last night it was 12 below zero.
Oh my!
Wow.
So that was a little chilly. Okay, even in Fahrenheit, that's a lot cold.
Yeah,
I mean in Celsius, that's a lot cold. But in any case, the really super cool part was there was no wind. So that made when it's cold out, and there isn't wind. It's just cold. It's a different type of cold than if it is, windy cold. So we were really fortunate. We were really, really, really fortunate. And then we moved from the treehouse to a gypsy wagon for the night. Yes, we like to go to really cool Airbnbs. We're those type of people. And we had actually stayed at this gypsy wagon before. It's the one that has the magic basket that appears with breakfast.
Ooh.
You guys may have remembered a long time ago me talking about that. So we went back, and I had my magic breakfast appear in the basket. And it was really awesome because we ended up being the last couple to stay at the gypsy wagon. They're upgrading, so they have to break it down to have it carted off to have the new one brought back in. So we were the last ones to get to stay there. So that was really kind of cool. And yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I'll be sharing some pictures, and I'll share them with everybody on our Tracy, in a treehouse. Yes, I was in a treehouse, and it was really cool. It was a really cool treehouse. So, and I think treehouses are neat. I didn't get to have one as a kid, so maybe this is me making up for that.
There you go.
Awesome.
It's funny when you were talking about, you like to sleep in strange Airbnbs. The first vision that came to my mind is you and Kevin in the Serengeti up in the banyan tree arms, with like animals down below and stuff, and you being so excited to like, look at that.
I would be really excited to do that. And I love, and for me, to have the animals, the birds. It was this particular treehouse. Yes, it was really super cool. It's in the Ardennes, in Belgium, not too far from where. Gosh, give me a second. I was going to say the Battle of the Bulge, but that's not right. I can't, it'll come to me in a minute. Sorry, having a buffering moment. My brain can't remember. But so, it's super awesome. We're in all these trees, and it was just a really great place. And the windows were on an angle. So they, how most windows, you want them nice and straight. So they created the windows so they looked like eyes. So they were like this. And they had this little angle, and it actually, the way they did something else, it made it look like it was smiling. And so it was really kind of cool. But in the one window, they had these really super cool bird feeders. Actually, they really, were low tech kind of bird feeders, but super cool because the little birds, they just kept coming, and they're sitting in the window, and it's like they're posing, they're like waiting. And I go to take a picture, and they're like, ha ha, bye. So it was a really
You definitely need to write a book, Krista, about all your travels and your experiences. I would write.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun. Life is too short, and there's so much to see and do. And each time we go and do something or see something, we both go, and there's even more, because we'll see something that we'll want to, that while we're doing something, we'll see something else and be like, oh, that looks cool. Let's go try that too.
That's great.
I love that.
So, but in terms of the frozen tundra, it has disappeared. Monday morning when we woke up, I thought we were going to wake up to slush here at home, but no, because we came home and there was still snow. But no joke, we woke up yesterday morning and it was gone. It was all gone, melted overnight. So yeah, it's warming up, but we're going to get chilly again, but not freezing as of yet. So yeah.
Gotcha. This weekend, it's supposed to get warmer, and I'm so very happy about that, because here in the Bennington area, we have a lake called Lake Perrin, and every winter except for the last 2 or 3 years, because of COVID, they didn't do it at all. So they're back doing it again. And it is the Lake Perrin Plunge. And the place that I work at on Main Street has a team of 10. And I mean, this is a big thing here, right? Wow. So we got a team of 10 that are going. I insisted that I am not, I can't do cold water. I can't. It makes my bones hurt. It's painful to me, right? I just as soon put my hand flat on the grill. I'm not. No, we're not doing that. But I'm on hot chocolate and warm blanket patrol. I'm happy to contribute in the way that I'm able. So we've got that coming up. And when we went into the deep freeze this week, Damaris, we had half of our team call mutiny. And they were just like, hell no, we ain't doing it this time. There's no way, you know.
Yeah, because I'm with them. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if it gets that cold, there's a vent of outside air that comes in behind the kitchen. And it was so cold that cold air was overpowering the heat of the kitchen, and the cooks were coming out into the service area to warm up. And it wasn't any warmer out front. We had customers that were not taking their coats off. And the heater on the wall was showing 80 degrees. Yeah, because when it gets that cold, there's just no overcoming it, you know?
Yeah. And is it colder by you than it is by me? I don't know. You're up north more.
I am up north more. And the pattern, we tend to be at the line where the Canadian cold comes down and meets the jet stream from the south. So it used to be that we would get dumped on an awful lot. Not so much anymore. We're like usually at the edge where you get the sleet and the freezing rain, and then it's just gray and dreary anyway. But we did get a couple of nice little storms this earlier week, and it has stuck around because it was freezing. But by Friday, it's going to be gone. It's going to be in the 40s for the plunge on Saturday.
Here too. It's going to be in the 40s.
Wow.
Yeah. So Mother Nature is in menopause at the moment. She's just going, fuck this. You know, you have some snow and you have some rain. Anyway.
And there's no global warming, right? No. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who's creating the global warming. The globe is warming.
Right.
You know, let's be real, people. You're right when you say it's like menopause. Yeah.
Your thermostat's all out of whack.
It is.
You know, it's warm in places it's historically shouldn't be warm, and it's cold in places.
I think in San Diego, there's a lot of floods that really are dangerous in San Diego.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
on TikTok.
No, I have friends out there, and they've been talking about the flooding. So
I saw a really cute little infographic earlier this week that explained a lot better to me visually on climate shift. You know, I know some people like to call it global warming, like you just did. And I think it's a misnomer because it doesn't warm everywhere. Somewhere it gets colder, right? So but it's definitely acting different locally than it ever has. So it's definitely climate shift.
The polar shifting.
Yeah, that's true, but it has nothing to do with it. What it has to do with is this polar ice cap, because of the melting, it fucks with the air patterns. And instead of the cold air circulating at the pole at the top, right? Yeah. It's leaking, and there's this like melted frosting look of the cold weather around the top of or the cold air around the top of the planet. So it's pushing the warm air in places it's pushing it out of places that it would normally be, and so on. Right. Yeah. So that's how we're getting, these weird weather patterns where it's Vermont and we can't do business because there's no fucking snow.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry. Thanks for letting me rant on that, because I just thought it explained to me really a whole lot better than it had ever explained to me before about how the melting glaciers are affecting the airflow and how weather is getting pushed into places that it doesn't usually, we're not used to in our lifetime seeing it go there. because of the fact that the convection is changing, Anyways, all right, let's get back to reality. Well, not reality, that is reality, but let's get back to this fantasy for the moment, okay?
Hey, no, we want to have
It's so funny how you both, like with the weather and, you experiencing so many things in life, Krista, so many travels. It's really talking about what I'm going to talk about today, because it's about, the Mother Earth has to do with Taurus, and all of that adventure has to do with Uranus. And that's my topic for today, is Uranus going direct in the sign of Taurus. It went retrograde in August 28th, 23. And is going direct on the 27th within a couple of days. And Taurus has to do with all that. It has to do with Mother Earth. It has to do, that the weather changes too, that Uranus energy in Taurus. Uranus is unpredictable. It has to do with the weather as well. It just, it brings in a lot of changes. You guys talk about global warming and other things. I talk about the planets. To me, it's like Uranus' energy going through the Taurus house, which Taurus has to do with Mother Earth. Taurus has to do with all of that. So to me is Uranus. So we're saying the same thing in different terminology.
Exactly. And that's the basis of the entire show. That is exactly why the show was created. Remember?
Yes. So there is a woo, regardless, no matter what. It's so funny. But okay, so let's talk about the Uranus going direct into Taurus. So Taurus is our individual manifesting power. I think about when we do manifestation, work, and we do vision boards and all of that, right? But if you don't have your self-worth and self-value, if you don't think that you could actually manifest, let's say, a mansion, you're not going to. You could put it on any dream board. You can say it, you can affirm it. It's not coming because we have to feel worthy of it. And so Taurus has to do with that. Taurus has to do with our self-worth, which then becomes our manifesting power. That's what Taurus is about. When you're looking for comfort, when you're looking for stability, safety, when you're looking for the finer things in life, do you think you deserve them? If you say yes, then they will come about. That's the manifesting power. If you don't think you deserve it, you're not gonna. It's almost like if you want to be a millionaire, you can't hang out with the local crackhead down the street. It's not gonna happen.
Unless you're the dealer.
Yeah, definitely not, that one of the 5 people you want to surround yourself with.
You have to vibrate. Why are you laughing, Gayle?
Don't worry, keep going.
You have to vibrate to, what you want to attract. And before that, you have to know your values, who you are. If you're worthy of these things, if you feel worthy, if you don't feel like you are, it's not going to happen. So, that energy of Uranus traveling through Taurus is all about you finding your self-worth. It's about you manifesting what you want, what you need. Before we can do that, we have to know who we really are. Our past, describes the present moment. What happened in our past that we need to fix in order to fix this moment, otherwise we can't fix it. And so I feel like I'm worthy. I feel like I truly want to live the life now. You know what I mean? And the Uranus energy is about adventure. It's about freedom. It's about change. It's about enjoying life. And Krista was just talking about all the things she does. And I'm like, she is really in the energy of what I'm going to say. If you talk about enjoying life, she's the epitome of it, because she has traveled so much and she has seen so many things that you and I probably haven't. You probably more than me. I've lived in a 15-mile radius my whole life.
And at the same time, I would dare say that even amongst all of the myriad experiences that Krista has this innate lovely facet about her that enjoys all of that and delves in and has that curiosity and embraces all of the strangeness as excitement, not as suspicion.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That's huge, Gail. That's really huge because that makes her enjoy the experience more. That makes her, have fun. If we're, cautious, or if we're like, scared, we're not going to really enjoy the experiences.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
No, because I'll tell you, it can be very unnerving. Doing something different and going somewhere that's unusual. And every time I have lived overseas in a different country, there's a learning curve that you have to get back into. But it's really not that difficult in terms of you actually kind of become comfortable, or at least I do.
Yeah.
I know there are other people who never do.
Yeah.
When they live overseas, for them, they like the comfort of they don't embrace the uncomfortability in order to get comfortable, if that makes sense. Whereas me, it's like, well, what the hell?
Yeah.
I'm moving, who cares?
Krista is the only entity I've ever imagined on the planet who can experience a mugging and come away saying things like, they were so good at what they did.
Yes.
That is so true. But they were wicked good. I'm like, damn, they earned it.
Wow.
I just wish they would have done it in a different way.
Yeah, I wouldn't have looked at it that way. Like, oh, they're wicked good. I would have been really pissed.
So being pissed doesn't solve the problem. You know what I mean? It really just doesn't. So you got to kind of roll with the energy.
We're choosing at every given moment which energy we're going to vibe to, right? I would be vibing as I'm pissed, and you'll be vibing like, oh my God, they're really good at what they do. So it gives us different experiences, right?
Yeah, it is. And it is. It's all about just viewing things from a different point of view. As a general rule, for me, what I have found is that Americans from the United States, I do not want to, add anybody else, have a tendency to live in fear in their vibration. So they doubt everything, and they're always looking.
Right?
Even when they're overseas, I've noticed that with a large percentage of people. Now, granted, I find that those of us who actually physically live here, it's a much different. And, for us, it's like, yeah, whatever. We go back to the United States, and that's when we're like looking over our shoulder everywhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying, I wonder why that is. They have
to be in the air over here, literally. Television wavelengths, radio wavelengths.
Yeah,
it's in the air over here. It's what's being beamed at us from the satellites over here.
Terrible.
24/7, 365.
That's really terrible, because how are we going to thrive in fear? We move forward, but I'm sure we move slower than someone that has no fear.
Yeah, and I find that for at least the countries that I've lived in, the residents. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't some that are fearful, and there aren't some that, but if they are fearful, it's legitimate. It's like
it's experiential. They had an experience that they're.
Yeah, and I'm not saying as that there aren't Americans that have valid reason for being like that, but for the most part, people, they're far more open, hearted, open-minded, even though you might think that they aren't. Some cultures, people classify Germans as being, and they are they can be a little bit abrupt, but it's the same with the New Englanders. Have you ever met a Down Mainer? Come on now, folks. I lived in Maine. But once you get to know the Down Mainers, let me tell you, they're very hospitable, and they're wicked awesome people.
Where haven't you lived, Krista? Seriously.
Well, I haven't lived in a lot of places. There are far more countries I haven't lived in than I have. So
I mean, you're literally living the Uranus life of enjoying and having different adventures and different, experiences and change all the time. You're the epitome of Uranus or Uranus.
Am I?
However you want to pronounce it.
Should we make a T-shirt with my picture that says Uranus?
No, the epitome of Uranus.
You're the epitome of Uranus.
Yeah.
So funny. So anyway, wherever you have your Taurus, that house is shifting and changing. Like I said before, Uranus is unpredictable. So out of the blue in that house, something is going to shift. I have a bunch of planets in my second house. I have we call it a gridlock, which is a lot of planets in one particular house. So I have Pluto there, I have Uranus there. So my second house is going through a complete overhaul because of these planets that are in there. And so wherever your Taurus is on your chart, that house is being, is going through a lot of changes that are unpredictable. Out of the blue, I can move somewhere else, within this energy and until Uranus leaves that, house, which I think I'm ready for. Like I said, I've been living all my life within a 15-mile radius. I'm ready for change. I'm ready to see other parts of the world.
Well, I'm moving. Why shouldn't you move?
Right? So
I did all my moving over the last couple of years. I'm done for a little bit.
Well, I haven't. I've been like stationary.
You got to go, girl.
Yeah.
You got to go. Someplace is waiting for you.
That's right. The number 5 energy is same thing. Is that Uranus energy is change,
An adventure,
experiencing life. Yeah, like I think I've said this before. If I'm a life path number 11, and I was married. My first marriage was to a 5. It didn't work. And I never understood why it was like, it didn't work. So when I started learning numerology, I looked at the comparison, and they're not comparable. They're very much in, like opposites to each other. So that was never going to work. So it's really good to look at the numerology of the life path and see what you're matching yourself with to realize if it's going to work or not, because it tells you if it is, if it's not a match. Sometimes it's compatible, which is okay. But if it's really like an opposite of it, it's never going to work, because somebody has to sort of like sacrifice, and then you can't live a world of sacrifice. So yeah. Yep.
Nice. Well done. Thank you so much, Damaris.
You're welcome.
Oh my goodness. I love that. You know what? While you were doing that, the epitome of Uranus. Yes. Mini business meeting. I want us to do a series of shirts that has the epitome of on the front, and then the list of the qualities on the back.
Oh,
that's nice. I like that.
It would be fun.
Anyways, I had to share that with you. Hi, everybody. We're back.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Sorry, I was talking to Kevin. He just came in. Now he's going back out. Now he's going back out. It's all for a good cause. Betty Jean is getting cleaned out so that she can get on the boat tomorrow. So, and Betty Jean, for those to clarify, is a 1996 Defender. So, a classic car. Yeah.
So what, you guys not going to have a car then until you leave?
No, we have blue. We have our other car which is a Mercedes. So my other car's a Mercedes. But that's like driving a Toyota here. I was
gonna say, yeah. It's a German.
In any case. So we have her until we leave.
It's everything.
It is. It's just understanding. I mean, in the US, you say you have a Mercedes and all of a sudden everyone's like, ooh, here you say you have a Mercedes and they're like, oh, okay, whatever. However, if you say, oh no, I have like a, Dodge Ram, then it's like, ooh la la. I'm like, okay, well,
here, Dodge Ram is like, okay.
Yeah, so it is. It's just it's all added. It's relative in perspective. So yeah, we do have a car for a little while longer. At the beginning of February, I'll list it for sale. So, but that's not, it's still part of change. It's part of, that Uranus Taurus energy, I would say, because it's all change, it's shift, it's adventure, because that's what moving is, change, shift, and adventure. When does this, Uranus go out of Taurus? Just out of curiosity.
I'm not sure. I could look in my ephemeris book if you like.
Yeah, why don't you give a look? I'm just curious. So you know what I'm saying? Okay, so our crystal of the week. Now, you guys are probably going to be like, hey, Krista, I remember you talking about this not so long ago. Our crystal is Stichtite, but I was talking about at the beginning of the year, it was Stichtite and Serpentine, which I happened to bring down my Stichtite and Serpentine. So remember, this is Stichtite and Serpentine, and you can't sadly really get a good look of it. The purple parts of this is the Stichtite. So it is different because when you look at Stichtite just by itself energetically, it's that purple. It's it's a really gorgeous thing, but its matrix is serpentine. But so what we're going to talk about, because I'm going to bring in the upcoming full moon, which it happens to be on Thursday. We are in that energy. I don't know. I posted something about, I posted something from Reverend Meg in our Facebook page. And I was like, hey, look, if you watch it, you'll understand. It's really good for this upcoming full moon energy and understanding. Because remember, full moon is about releasing. But what makes this particular full moon really important and why the Stichtite is really good is this is our first full moon of our Gregorian calendar. And now, yes, I'm using the word Gregorian calendar because I want to emphasize that there is a difference between the Gregorian and the Julian.
There is.
And so, because society as a whole operates on the Gregorian calendar, it is our first one of the year and our first full moon of the year. And so it's significant because it is that last time that you can release and let go of 2023. It is that last time that you can leave 2023 and 2022 and, so on and so forth. Everything in the past, you leave it there because guess what? You can't change the past, y'all.
I have a thing with that because if we don't sort of like understand the past and what we've been through, we can't change the present or the future.
Now that's different than you can't change the past.
Like you can't just let it go if there's issues.
No. But too many people fixate on it, and they fixate on it to the point where all they do is they keep dragging it forward, and it creates a cycle of it creates trauma, drama, train wreck, faster. You know what I mean? It's just, it just is an endless cycle.
And if they don't understand why they had the trauma in the past, or they don't understand the energy of it or what it was supposed to bring them. So they keep trying to analyze it or fix it or they don't understand it.
Not everybody can. Let's get through the whole thing and then you'll understand. Okay. So ultimately, you want to leave you don't want to be constantly carrying the baggage, right? Now you want to deal with your stuff. I'm a huge person for saying, take care of your shit.
Yeah, that would be like inner child work, right? A lot.
Yeah, it can be. Well, a lot of it is inner child work. Yeah, the shadow work. A lot of it is. It's just doing the shadow work. And it's not, by the way, that doesn't mean it's fun all the time. It doesn't mean it's always, hard either. It can be messy. It can be ugly. You could do some ugly crying, and that's fine. But once you understand that it's something that happened, leave it. So that's why the full moon, in any case, is really good, because it's about letting go. It's about releasing. It's not just about doing that inner work on you. Now, it could be all that other stuff as well that goes with it, the actual physical items, getting rid of stuff, kind of like what I'm doing, moving, because I'm moving, so I'm getting rid of stuff. But you're wanting to process and not, so it doesn't continue. Because think of the stuff that you have in your house. We'll go with this. The stuff that you have in your house has all this physical energy. And all this physical energy from the stuff that's in your house, if it's something that is no longer serving you, it becomes a heavier and heavier and heavier and more dense energy. And so it doesn't allow space to invite things in. So it's a good time to get rid of stuff. Now, back to the crystal of the week, being the Stichtite. Why is that significant? Well, Stichtite is a really unique kind of energy, because it works the heart, and it works then also, it doesn't work your throat chakra, but it works your third eye and your crown. So it's one of those ones that's your heart, your third eye, and your crown. And why is that really important? Because this is healing, all of it. And it's trusting yourself. And then it's trusting your connection. Now, granted, to have a really strong connection that goes up, you have to have a strong connection that goes down.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it one that you want to work with a good grounding stone as well. That's why if it's Stichtite in serpentine, that gives that grounding aspect. And so the intuition aspect of it is about knowledge. It's about, which, Gayle, you're just talking about how you've been doing all this stuff. Great stone for helping with that knowledge. But it's also really good at helping us tap into that inner wisdom. It is a good one that would help healing the wounded child or the shadow work, right? But it's also one that wants you to let go. Remember, it's a stone that's about letting go. Shed the past so that you can move forward. Yeah. Shed it and leave it behind so that you can rise above. Yeah. So, and when I say rise above, I'm not meaning rise above, I mean energetically. That's what you're raising that vibration that you're in. The higher your vibration, the lighter things become. And then you can be more like, living your best Uranus life.
Yeah. You would know.
As I would know, because I do love to live my best Uranus life.
You epitomize it.
I epitomize my best Uranus life.
It's better than saying I epitomize Uranus.
There you go. So yeah, but when you're thinking of energy, it's not in doing crystal work. I had a student just reach out to me, and they were like, I want crystals now. How? And I'm like, well, you got to get your energy sometimes into that space. Crystals can be really wonderful, but if you're not in that space for that crystal, or it won't actually do what it is. It won't. I don't want to say it won't do it. It just does it in a different way. So, but with Stichtite, it is a high vibration. It's a really high vibration stone. So remember, if you're going to be working with a high vibration stone, you need to have a good grounder. For this one, if it's like my pendant here, Stichtite in the serpentine, you're good. If you only have some Stichtite, or you're just watching Stichtite, can you toss that picture back up for us, Gayle? It actually, this one is in a matrix, the Stichtite. See the dark? That's the grounder. So that you're rarely will you find Stichtite where it's just solely by itself. It typically has a part of the matrix still attached with it because of the way it grows, the way it forms. But yeah, if you need a grounder, always black tourmaline is a great one. If you're really needing grounding, then go for an obsidian. But typically black tourmaline, it's a pretty common one, and it's an easy grounder.
So Uranus moves to Gemini in April 26th.
Oh, well, see, I will be living my best life.
What was that?
That's awesome.
My best.
So, yeah, you can spend the next 2 years hopping around all over the place.
There you go. Living that best Uranus life. There we go.
There you
go. You know, and that's it. I like that idea. Living my best. Kevin's going to be all on board.
That should be a T-shirt, Gayle.
Yeah. I agree. I like that one. Living your best Uranus, or the epitome of Uranus, or living your best Uranus life.
Yeah. I like that.
Nice. All right, my dears, let's do this.
It's your turn, my.
Well, as always, the woo is present, and there's, no surprise in being surprised that it all falls into place. Because, we're talking about the Uranus and Taurus. We're talking about the 5. Those are all indicators of change, trying to remain grounded through change, right? And then we move on to the Stichtite, which is a heart, third eye, and crown chakra. So your innate connection to your creator and how that energy is delivered to you from the universe, right? That crystal helps that particular pathway. And it's not about speaking it. It's not about telling anybody about it. It's about receiving that energy, right? Yeah. So we walk into 2024 with this full moon coming up, letting go of the last vestiges of 2023. And we walk forward into 2024 into the age of Aquarius. I erroneously said last week that, this is the last, this is it. Everything is here now. And that is true. But we've also got another dip back in September into Capricorn before Aquarius, before Pluto goes forward again into Aquarius, and stays there for years
until 2044.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to stop there and back up a couple of days, because on the 17th, 18th, around there, I was getting this energy, all right, the fetters are off. Let's do this. Let's move forward into this whole new thing, blah, 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 and I was like energized, literally. I just had all of this excitement inside of me. And then the 20th, all of a sudden it was like, why is it that every time that I get excited about something, it doesn't follow through that way, right? And I was down and depressed and looking at the calendar going, okay, is this just my seasonal depression that has come back since I've been in the northern hemisphere, or the northern part of the country, for the last 3 years? And I used to get historically seasonal affective disorder. So is this coming back at this time of the year? What really is going on here? And then I read something that kind of gave me a little bit of a, maybe there's something down this rabbit hole to take a look at. And what that was it wasn't that this huge movement into Aquarius was going to make it so much easier to do the things to one-on-one to everybody else, right? But rather that it's going to be in your face more. You're still going to have to pull yourself forward to do these things that you were created to do. But guess what? It's going to be unescapable now. It's right there, everywhere you turn, all the time, right? And there's no way over, there's no way out, there's no way back. You got to go through now.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way. Okay? The easy way is to grab a piece of Stichtite, right? Understand that there are planets having their way with you and that things are going to change, and just pull that fucking lever. Pull the lever on that slot machine that the universe has set up for you. Okay?
I like that you're using that, Gayle. The lever thing.
Right?
I was thinking more of like the Wheel of Fortune, right? You spin the wheel and wherever it lands,
because you've got agency over this, right? You've got agency over this. Your action, you're like engaging, right? And engaging that, pulling that lever can look like sitting down and meditating with the Stichtite and asking the universe, all right, where are we going? What do you need of me to contribute to your creation?
Yeah.
Right? And actually taking that action to request guidance as to where you should be going next. Because if you don't do that, you will more likely be more, I don't want to necessarily call it a Wheel of Fortune. I'm thinking a roulette table. Yeah. And you could just get pinged around and popped into any fucking number, any fucking color without any kind of choice involved.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So this is that time where you've got this whole buffet, this smorgasbord of all your skills and talents in front of you. And it very well may be difficult to choose among them, right? Which way do I go? What am I supposed to do? All of these things that didn't work in the past. Should I take a look at them now again? Should I redesign them again? Or should I just go completely, that's all past. That's 23, 22, 21, 20 and on, right? And we're going to do something completely a la Monty Python different now. All right?
Sounds good.
Yeah, Chris is all on board. Let's do something different right now, you know?
Let's go.
Exactly. But see, the way to make that as pain-free as possible is to get your whole fucking team on board.
Yeah.
Grab a piece of Stichtite, grab a piece of black tourmaline, have a seat in your chair, light a candle, light some incense, and go have a conversation with your committee. You've got 144,000 angels waiting to do your bidding. You've got guides, you've got ancestors, you've got creators, you've got angels, you've got old gods.
Yeah.
You got all the fucking advice you could stand if you just ask.
And then wait and listen.
Yes.
Yeah, that's and be observant, because the listening doesn't always happen instantly.
It doesn't.
People think that, well, I asked and I didn't hear anything. Okay, but did you
they may not come auditorially to you.
Yeah, and it can come in a different form that you expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can come in a song.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm sorry, I went and looked at the comments and lost my train of thought. All right, so here's the thing. Whatever it is that you do hear or do notice, because we're going to be watching those signs, right? Like Krista just said, right? Mm-hmm. Listening for the answer. Now, here is the absolute most important piece of all of that. After you've grabbed your tools and created your environment and went into conversational conference with your guides, angels, and ancestors, and you've actually heard something in return or noticed something in your environment, a sign, and you know it's a sign, don't fucking ask for another one. When you see the sign, you know it's a fucking sign.
Hit people in the head.
3 times you'll get signs, and then you'll get a 2x4.
Yep.
Right? All right. Once you actually receive an answer, go fucking do it. Go do it.
Yeah.
Go do it. Don't. Oh, well, that was an interesting exercise. Let's go have a drink. Let's gossip about some other people. Let's do anything, but please don't actually
Don't
do
have me do what that. Say no, I don't want to do that.
what?
Say no, I don't want to go do that.
Right? And that's the hardest part, isn't it, people? I mean, we were talking earlier about those numbers that, that can be compatible, right?
Yeah.
Right? I need whatever number does not have executive dysfunction. Okay.
What's your path number?
I believe it's 4. I think it is. Yeah. So, all of those, and it's not really even necessarily a number thing. It's more like a compacted ADHD thing where, I've just been able to skate through life without doing some things, right? So I figure I can just procrastinate my way through a lot of shit and deal with the fallout, right? But you can't always do that, You can't be a content creator and then just procrastinate your way out of until it's not timely anymore and then fuck it, right? Which is how I've been doing a lot of things lately. All right.
It's so funny.
I'm just sharing my own experience, strength, and hope. And hopefully you guys will either, look to me for an example or a warning. Either way it works. Okay?
I like that. I like that. As you were talking, because I always think of the signs and the astrological aspects. I see it as almost like a Gemini and Virgo energy because they're both ruled by Mercury. But the Gemini can get lost in thought and not ever do anything, and the Virgo energy has to bring it down and actually do something with it on the earth. Yeah. And so that sounds like what you're saying. It's like sometimes with that energy of Gemini, they get lost in thought. They never accomplish anything.
Yeah.
And then
she doesn't have Gemini.
No,
she has it in her chart. We don't know
Manilow
where.
Is Gemini, right? What? And he's like, Manilow is Gemini. So he must have something in his rising or his moon that counteracts that, because the accomplishments and the executing the plan is his strong suit, right? Yeah, he can execute a plan.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because if you don't,
I just need somebody.
You don't accomplish much. No. Gemini energy is very it's not stable. It also jumps around. It's not stable.
Yeah.
It's sometimes chaotic.
It's very erratic.
Yeah.
Erratic. It's high energy. Somebody that taps all the time, taps their legs all the time. Yeah. Okay.
So they need something to counteract it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm taking applications now for somebody that's only able to go. How long have you been on TikTok, hon? Maybe you should make a video and post it on TikTok, and then you can have another 30 minutes. I do. I need a kindergarten teacher right now to manage my attention span. No, I'm joking with you to a certain extent, but that's the type of thing that I really want you to take a look at this week. Okay, that ask for the guidance. You can have so much. What would you like right now? Okay, it's like how many we eat every day. You can cook your own food. You can go to a restaurant. You can try something at a restaurant today and come back tomorrow and try something different. Okay. Don't let the idea that you're making a choice fall upon you oppressively, like it's the only choice you ever get to make. Right.
Yeah.
You can choose again. If you don't like it, sure, spit it out, try over. Right. No biggie. But go in and have that conversation and ask, what would your creator like you to do? Listen and watch for the answers, and then take action on whatever shows up so that you can decide for yourself if that's something that you want to keep doing for the next 40 years. Because that's the thing we're dealing with right now. This Pluto is going to, once it finally settles, by the end of this year, right? It's going to be there for the next 40 years.
No,
This is
20.
the beginning of a whole new
20
generation. 20 years, sorry.
20.
Still 43 or whatever it is. Yeah, thank you. But for the next 20 years. So we may not have known this much. We may not have been prepared this much back in 2007 to have the presence of mind to actually create how we wanted to do this next phase for the next 16 years, right? Out of 2007, 2008, to actually take the reins of where Pluto is in this our overarching, what do they call it? The character arc, in our own lives character arc. Okay. But we have this opportunity to do this time. What is it that you want to be for the world? What is it that's going to bring you the most joy? What is it that you can find to do as easily as possible and not feel ashamed or unworthy because that particular thing came easy to you? Don't forget, not everything comes easy to everybody. And if you can find a way to contribute to the world out of the things that come like that for you, there's a big chasm, right, that you could fall into of it can't be that easy. I've been told you have to work really hard. And you don't let yourself do the thing that is your gift because it's too easy and you don't deserve to make money from it. That's a pit from hell. Watch out for that. Yeah, step aside. Go around. We're good. All right, my loves. What shall we do next? Let's see. Today we have this wonderful card of the day. Yes. Where did my thing go? The Knight of Pentacles. And as always, it fits perfectly because here's the affirmation associated with it from Galaxy Tarot. Today's affirmation is, through deliberate and focused efforts, I achieve steady and lasting growth. We've built the foundation this past year. The cornerstone is set. The concrete has cured. Now it's time for you to build your home.
Yeah.
What are you going to call home for the next 20 years?
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah.
All right,
that really is.
You want to say before we say goodbye and thank you to everyone?
Well, you got cut off. What did you say, Gayle?
I said pretty much that that's it for the day since we're not doing the winner anymore. So do either of you have anything else that you'd like to say before we close the show?
Go ahead, Krista. You go first.
Anybody who's local here in the Netherlands who knows me and is watching, just reach out to me. I'm going to be doing a crystal sale this Friday here at the house. So reach out if you want to come, and I will send you the invite. Damaris, you need to tell everybody about this Akashic thing that you're doing.
The scroll?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So basically you asked a question, and it could be like, what's in my unconscious mind? And you shuffle the 22 cards, the 22 major cards, and whatever card jumps out, that's your starting point. And then from there, you keep kind of asking questions until you get to the bottom of it. Sometimes it takes about 5 cards. Sometimes it could take 6. But I'll give you an example. So I have someone, I'm not going to mention her name, but she's always doing, like, she never knows how to say no. She always feels like she has to do something for other people. Mm-hmm. And we didn't understand why. And so when I did her scroll, we got to the bottom of it. And it's almost like she has a sense of duty. She feels like I have to do this for this person. If someone asks her for something, she has to do it. It's a sense of duty. But this sense of duty shows up in every aspect of her life. And a lot of the times it works against her rather than for her. And at the same time, people that see that energy from her, they don't identify it as a sense of duty, but they do tend to take advantage of her because they see that she's always so helpful, or she's always, she never says no. So they tend to take advantage of her. So, at the end of the day, she feels like she's doing, but not receiving. And it's because of this sense of duty that she has to sort of like, discern, do I really have to do this for this person, or maybe I don't? So she has to learn how to sort of like put boundaries and really recognize when she does have to do something and when she really doesn't. Otherwise, it's going to be really hard for her to receive because she's always the one giving. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Very interesting.
So it really goes like into the unconscious mind to recognize, things that are getting in our own way rather than helping us move forward.
Okay, well, thanks for that. I mean, I just saw that you were doing that, so I thought it was
it's
nice
interesting as you go down through the process. It's very interesting.
Excellent.
Cool.
Thank you for asking.
Wonderful. I want to say welcome and thanks for joining us to our new subscriber, Ellen, before we close up today. Thanks so much for joining us, Ellen, Crown to Crown. I love it. Fantastic. And thank you to you wonderful ladies that make Tuesday the best day of the fucking week for me. I don't know whether I'm going to give up swearing or not. I may have to give up all of the other hurtful words first, I think, like hate and murder and molestation and just not say all those horrible, horrible words. Anyways, I'm on a tangent now. This really was water, I swear to God.
That's Pluto talking. Are you the epitome of Pluto?
I am the epitome of Pluto, and I'm hoping that Disney loses their copyright real soon so we can actually use Pluto.
Well, no, she was the epitome of Uranus. You're the epitome of Pluto. That energy.
Yep.
There we go. I don't know, Damaris. What planet are you the epitome of?
I think I'm definitely Mercury energy. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us today and making this so wonderful. We love you very, very much, and we can't wait to see you again. Have a fantastic week and do your homework.